go. Whew, I knew there was a light missing. There we go. Oh, and I've got a cord hanging. What would I do? Why was that happening? There we go. There we go. Ha! How are ya? That's what happens when I move things around. I moved my lights around today, and now I can't hear myself very well with you guys. What did I do? Did I turn the sound down too much? What's going on? Come on. Nope, nope. There we go. Okay, there, that's better. Whew. Hi, how are you guys tonight? It's good to have you here. Hi, Roy. Hi, Tamra. Oh my goodness. Hey, Roy, I enjoyed your morning thoughts this morning. I really did. That was, it was a good thing to listen to. Yeah, it was really good. And about, chemicals, crazy stuff. I tell you, crazy stuff that it happens. Anyway, today, folks, I have been slugging my way through some tasks that needed to get done, and I got through some stuff for Creator Camp. I got through the scenery assignment. I got on Creative Work Hour this morning with my crew early on. And then I went to Mary Lou's tech today, and I actually edited the ceiling video. So it is just after I'm done here, I will record it in Ecamm with its intro and outro, and then I'll post it on YouTube into that little bit of phase 9 of the build. And then it'll be just the bookcase and the furnishing. That'll be it. So, tonight I thought I would read some different books tonight about, and one of them I might have read before, but it is always one that is, I think, it's just a really good book. And for as many people who, when I was a kid and in my early years of teaching, well, when I was a kid, it was never diagnosed. And then, because it probably wasn't even a name. And then when I first started teaching, when I first got my teaching certificate in, what was it? 82, I think, 81, 82, that I substituted. I learned a great deal more about this, and then there's so many variations of this. So the book I've got tonight is called Aaron Slater, Illustrator, and it is it's about a child who has dyslexia, and it is something that, boy, a lot of us, people who did have it, were not diagnosed with it when they were young, or in school, and maybe it wasn't even until they were in college that it was diagnosed even. And a lot is not known about the different kinds of dyslexia. There's the auditory dyslexia, there's reading dyslexia, there's all kinds of dyslexia. Some of them goes in with synesthesia, a little bit, kind of that. So I thought I would read this book tonight, but I wanted to read the author's note first, or the illustrator's note for sure. The illustrator said, "As someone who struggled with reading and spelling, and still does, I quickly learned how to read and tell stories with pictures. A picture can play with our imagination, make us feel the heat of the glowing sun on a cold winter's day, or feel the wind billowing through leaves when all is quiet and still. We can share in someone's sadness or their joys through pictures. Telling stories with Aaron through drawings has made this a very special book for me. I hope you enjoy it." So it's illustrated by David Roberts, and it's written by Andrea Beaty. And she writes, Aaron Douglas Slater is named after Aaron Douglas, an African-American painter, muralist, and graphic artist who lived from 1899 to 1979. He was a key figure in the Harlem Renaissance, an important literary and artistic movement of the 20s and 30s. Douglas's art was influenced by African art, Art Deco, and jazz, and reflected African American life and struggles. Jazz instruments such as trombones and trumpets appear in many of his works. Learning to read is hard for Aaron Slater. His brain has difficulty identifying how speech sounds relate to letter and sounds. Aaron has dyslexia, just like 15 to 20% of all people. There are many other learning difficulties people may have. For instance, dysgraphia is difficulty learning to write. Dyscalculia is a form of difficulty doing math. Some people have difficulty focusing, which is called attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactive disorder. These learning problems are not about a person's intelligence, creativity, kindness, willingness to work, or their awesomeness. They are just about how the person's brain works. All of these difficulties and many others can be frustrating, but tools and special instruction from educators and others can help. Aaron's dyslexia informs who he is, but it does not define who he is. We each have our own superpowers and struggles. That's what makes us unique, beautiful, strong, and important to the world, just like Aaron. And this particular book is the typeset of it. I want you guys to see is the text has been set in Dyslexie, a typeface specially designed for people with dyslexia. And to learn more, visit dyslexiefont.com. So, it's called Aaron Slater, Illustrator. And I'm looking to see, sounds like me. Yeah, I had a student early on who had auditory dyslexia, which he heard things mixed up. Okay, Aaron Slater, Illustrator. All right. And this type of font, okay, so one of the things about this type of font, if you can see it, I don't know why it's not focusing real well on that type of font there. If you'll notice this type of font, it's weighted at the bottom of the letters just slightly, and that weighting helps kids with dyslexia track, and people who have dyslexia to track the letters and the words. One of the things that's difficulty is to have it not get all jumbled up, but having that weighted part at the bottom of the font has always been a huge thing. Other things that would help kids we would do this kind of stuff, but we would also do this kind of stuff where we would separate small groups of words so that they could read. I spent a lot of time with kids doing that. All right, Aaron Slater, Illustrator. Here we go. At the end of the garden, in the soft fading light, when the day turns to dusk and the dusk into night, the sweet scent of jasmine floats into the air to mix with the music of laughter, and there, Aaron D. Slater soaks it all in with his flowery blanket tucked under his chin. Words drift like music, melodious, mild, a sweet summer song for a sweet summer child, who drifts off to sleep as the cottonwoods sway at the end of the garden, at the end of the day. It's summer, then summer, and summer once more, and soon Aaron D. is a youngster of 4. The jasmine climbs higher, the roses have grown, and Aaron himself has a spot of his own for seedlings and saplings beside the slate walk, which he illustrates daily with a bucket of chalk. But what he loves most, what makes Aaron's heart sing, is to listen to books in the old garden swing. To write stories, he thinks, is the greatest of things. But first, he must read. It's the best place to start, and young Aaron wants to do that with all of his heart. But the words are just squiggles, and try though he might, even with help, Aaron can't get it right. Why can't I do it? Why is it so hard? He goes back to drawing on slate in his yard. It's school time at last. In his sunflower socks and poppy red jacket with a matching lunchbox, he marches to class with a teacher's bouquet, ready to read by the end of the day. Oh, you don't know how many kids come to school expecting to go home that first day reading. But he doesn't that day, or that month, or that year. And though he makes progress, it's painfully clear he'll never quite get it like all of his friends. Still, since he'll never stand out, he decides to blend in. And so, here he is at the start of grade 2 in his simple white t-shirt and matching white shoes. He tries to keep up, to blend in, and to hide the tangle of feelings he carries inside. At first, it goes well, since his teacher is new and a bit overwhelmed by the hullabaloo. But things settle down and Miss Greer finds her stride, and once she gets rolling, there's no place to hide. Class, she says, here's an assignment for you. Write me a story. Write something true. And so Aaron does what young Aaron must do. He works on his story like the rest of grade 2. He writes through the evening, he writes through the night, he writes and he writes till the dawn's early light. Then he drags off to school with his shoes filled with lead and his stomach in knots and a pain in his head. And he waits for his turn with his heart filled with dread. Miss Greer calls his name, and Aaron D. stands and unfolds the sheet in his trembling hands. And he reads. Well, he tries. But it's so hard to start with 33 eyes peering into his heart. So he stares at his shoes and his sunflower socks. Then he closes his eyes. And then young Aaron talks. Once there was a flower. No, wait, I know. Once there was a magical flower, which gave all who held it extraordinary power. And so it begins, the most perfect of tales, of an imperfect hero whose courage fails. When the day turns to dusk and the dusk into night and the moon rises high and the dragons take flight, and who learns after all in the wee morning hours, strength comes from the heart and not magical flowers. That beauty and kindness and loving and art lend courage to all with a welcoming heart. And when the quest ends and the sweet flower dies, the students all gasp and Miss Lila Greer cries. The silence that follows rattles his heart. He tries to say something, but where could he start? He turns in a paper with no words at all, then blinks back a tear and escapes to the hall, where Miss Lila finds him by the slate-colored wall. Time stops for them both, the teacher and boy. His heart fills with anguish, and hers with joy. At the soul of this artist, courageous and true, she smiles and whispers, Erin, thank you. When she leaves, Erin stands there a very long while. Then slowly, so slowly, he begins to smile. And he feels like he does with those books in the swing, as a new hope inside starts to make his heart sing. He knows he can do the greatest of things in a way that's his own, in a way that's just his. He can stand out and show the whole world who he is. Like the mightiest flames that banish the dark, hope grows in the soul from the tiniest spark. His art makes the difference. His art leads the way and helps him discover what he wants to say. And his reading gets better. Of course, it's still tough, but each day that they work is a little less rough. Like all imperfect heroes at the start of a quest, he must do what he can and hope for the best. Now in the hallway, a new garden grows with jasmine and poppies, a rambling rose, books, art, and music, a dragon or two who soar through the sky of delphinium blue. The art tells a story, melodious, mild, furious, fragrant, wonderful, wild. It's all from the heart, and all of it's true for Erin, Miss Greer, and the kids of grade 2. It's a place full of beauty for one and for all. The Illustrator's garden at the end of the hall. And that is Erin Slater, Illustrator. Oh, hi, Doc, and Lala, and Tamra, my dear friend Tamra. You guys, Tam's art is my dear friend Tamra, and she is in Australia. And Doc Rock is in Hawaii, and Mommy Guide Inc. Lala is in the Philippines. And Roy, Tech Troublemaker, are you escaping the winds coming in right now? I think you said something about the rain and stuff, and you got, are you in the area of the hurricane coming in? Wow. Nothing like this. Yes, these books, this whole series, there's Erin Slater, Illustrator. There is, oh my gosh, she's written a bunch of them. Sophia Valdez, Future Prez, Ada Twist, Scientist, Rosie Revere, Engineer, Iggy Peck, Architect. And those are just some of them. And they've been, oh my gosh, they're just so good. They're such good books. And I absolutely love them. And yay. So that was Erin Slater, Illustrator. And what I really love about this is the fact that they made the effort to actually print the book in open dyslexic font so that it made it easier to read for somebody that deals with this. And, you know, those kids that love the books but sometimes have a really hard time reading them but are amazing artists, that's one of the things that you get to know, that's something that they struggle with oftentimes, but have a hard time letting you know that. Okay, so checking in with everybody. I want to come. Oh, yay. Oh, Lala has it in for all of us to come visit her. I'm in South Carolina, so much rain, expecting 6 to 8 inches. High winds start tomorrow. I know I have a really close friend that lives in Asheville, North Carolina, and he did this. I mean, I know he's keeping a very good spirit about the whole thing, but he did an AI like video on his Instagram of the bears in canoes and in life jackets and stuff swimming down the streets in Asheville, North Carolina, because it's kind of flooding in the streets there. Anyway, I pulled out another book that I found, and I want to show you guys this one. If you are fans of Shel Silverstein at all, his books, Light in the Attic, that was somebody else. Anyway, this is by Bob Odenkirk, and it's called Zillet and Other Important Rhymes, and it's just a bunch of silly poems. But I found one today that I thought was a good one, and I had it marked, but now I don't. Yes. Incrementalism, a theory. So, for all of us who are always trying to get everything done on time, first off, right away, and have it happen just like that, this is definitely something to live by. Incrementalism, a theory. Nothing is done all at once. Nothing great, anyway. Even climbing Mount Everest starts with one step on one day. And this is incrementalism. It's only a theory until you put it into action. To lace up your shoes and let's get some traction. I'm not saying that you have to climb anything. Everyone has their own dream, as distinct as their laughter. And it's not up to me to decide what you're after. So find a big dream, something special and true, then step lots of steps toward the thing that excites you. But back to Mount Everest. I do wish you'd climb it. You see, I'm headed there too, and I want a friend to meet me. Could it be you? So let's agree that tomorrow, as you walk towards school, tell everyone you're climbing Everest. I think it'd be cool. The world is round, so whether you head east or west, you'll be inching incrementally toward old Everest. That's Zillet and Other Important Rhymes. Bob Odenkirk is known for acting and writing lots of comedy sketches for TV shows. He's been writing silly stuff his whole life because he likes to look at the world as a mostly funny, pretty, ridiculous place. I like this guy. His greatest wish is that you'd laugh today, and he'd very much like you to help you make that happen. Erin Odenkirk has been creating art for as long as she can remember, having first found inspiration in drawing real and made-up animals. Now a graduate of Pratt Institute, she lives in Brooklyn with lots of pencils and one bunny. She hopes this book makes you chuckle and maybe even chortle, but mostly she hopes it inspires you to go make something important. And Nate Odenkirk contributed to this book both as a little kid and as a tall wisp of a man. His original radio play, Summer in Argyle, is kid and adult friendly and perfect for keeping both quiet on long road trips. As a classically trained writer, Nate has yet to make a single mistake. So that is Zillet. And, all right. Who's checking it? Oh, Lupe! Hey, Lupe, how are you? Is it cooling down there in New Mexico? Or you're not getting any of the weather? No, you're on the other side of the Gulf, so that's right. But things are good. So yeah, Lupe Blind Art Studios is my friend Lupe. She lives in New Mexico. She is another amazing artist. Tamara is a great artist. Doc has musical Tourette's. Everybody. So, Bob is from Breaking Bad and Better Call. Oh my gosh. All right. So, last week I read something. Oh, I read a book, and we were talking about how just because, and how when it was about doing the right thing, and how you making that choice. And in this book that talked about it, and I talked about how my mom always, when we would ask why this, and she would say because, and we would say why because, and she would say because, and it became this just because, this thing of my mom of knowing that just because was the answer that you could, when you couldn't tell why you needed to do it or why it should be a certain way, it was just because it was the right thing to do. So I've got a book today I found called Just Because, and it has, oh, it's kind of cool. I will show you the cover, and it's got one of those secret inside covers. Here's the cover, Just Because, by Mac Barnett, and illustrated by Isabel Arsenlot. But it is one of those, here, I'll show you guys. It's got the secret inside cover underneath the dust cover with all kinds of wonderful art doodles on it. So, Tamara, Ideas, and Lupe, this is Just Because. Okay. I should make Bob read this because he's going to have, well, I'm at Creator Camp. He's going down to Phoenix, yeah, to watch kids. All right. So, before I get into this, before I tell you this, oftentimes at school, when the kids would ask me silly questions, or questions that not silly, but the repeat questions that they knew the answer to, that they were delaying things. Like, for example, when we'd been learning how to tell time, and we would go over the things and had it on the clock of when we had to get ready to go to lunch. And every day, this one little girl would ask me, when's lunch? And I would say, what time it was, when's lunch? And finally one day I looked at her and I said, oh, it's at a freckle past a hair. And she kind of shook and what? And then she ignored it. And the next day she asked me again, and I said, well, oh, it's at half past kissing time, time to kiss again. Okay. She shook a little bit. And then the next time she asked, I said that I had moved it to Thursday after Cosby. So you know how long ago this was. Oh my gosh. So I learned early on to answer questions sometimes that they, with silly answers. You know, like go stand on your head and bark like a dog. That was things, those kind of things. So this book on Just Because has a little bit of that element to it. So I kind of like it. Just Because. Why is the ocean blue? Every night when you go to sleep, the fish take out guitars. They sing sad songs and cry blue tears. What is the rain? The tears of flying fish. Why do the leaves change colors? In autumn, when the world gets colder, the trees keep warm by setting quiet little fires in their leaves. By winter, their branches have all burned up. Why do birds fly south for the winter? To fetch new leaves for the trees. What happened to dinosaurs? Millions of years ago, thousands of asteroids fell on the Earth. But the dinosaurs had planned for this. They fastened themselves to big balloons and floated up to space and stayed there. What are black holes? The mouths of dinosaurs. What is a volcano? What is the wind? How big was a woolly mammoth? How were the pyramids built? How do you tame a horse? What is a desert? What are freckles? What is an echo? What is quicksand? What is thunder? How tall is the tallest mountain? Why do we sneeze? What is the moon? What is a rainbow? How does an egg become a chicken? What is lightning? It is time to go to sleep. Why do we have to sleep? Because there are some things we can only see with our eyes closed. I love that. Just because. I have a feeling I need to give a couple of these books to Bryn. Oh, because her three, well, McLean will fall asleep with books all over his head. Rook will too, although she has a lot of difficulty reading them. Rory, at 3, has that child with all the questions and doesn't like to sleep. But she's going to preschool, outdoor preschool in Eugene, Oregon. And they are wearing that girl out. Yahoo! They went up hiking and all kinds of stuff. So I'm excited for that. Oh, it's still hot down there? Oh my goodness. All right. And I have one more. Since we're on a kid theme tonight of kind of things. This is written by Sarah O'Leary and illustrated by Quinn Lang. And Sarah O'Leary is the writer of fiction for both adults and children. She has picture books include A Family is a Family is a Family, and Percy's Museum, and Night Walk, and Maud and Grand Maud. Maud and Grand Maud. I like that. This is Sadie, and this is Ruby. And Quinn Lang lives and works as a designer and illustrator in Toronto. Her picture books include a lot of those that she did, and also did When I Found Grandma. So this is just a fun book. The illustrations, again, artists out there, Tamra and Lala, and well, Doc is too, and Lupe, and Roy. Roy says that his stick figures would not fit with class, but you know what? I think that they could go with the show. I mean, seriously. So Sunday is show and tell night for stories and your art. So don't forget to send some stuff in so that I can show it on and we'll have fun. But this is A Kid is a Kid is a Kid. And these are the kind of stories that show it's okay. Being the new kid is hard. I can think of better things to ask than if I'm a boy or a girl. What a question. I get asked why I always have my nose in a book. Books are my life. I get asked why I'm so small. I'd rather get asked what big words I can spell. I get asked where I come from. Here. I come from here. I don't know why we are always asked if we're identical twins. I was asked why I didn't have any friends. Then this boy said, I'm their friend. And now he is. Asking me why I wear the same shirt all the time isn't logical. I mean, just look. It's an exceptional shirt. Why would anyone ask me why my sister was born different? Everyone's different. Ask me what I can do, not what I can't. Ask me my new dog's name. Pumpkin Pie. Ask me if you can try my lunch. I love to share. Kimchi, rice rolls, shrimp pancakes, dumplings, tofu soup. I wish you would ask me about my grandmother's house. I was so happy there. You know, there's one question we all like. Hey kid, do you want to play? A kid is a kid is a kid. You know what? I kind of think that's the same for an adult is an adult is an adult. We're all kids inside somewhere. Yay. So, let's see. Whoa! I went too far. Huh, I hit the wrong button. There we go. Oh, I know what I did. I moved things out of the way. So you guys, that's the stories for tonight. Like I said, I wanted to bring in some stories about just about those differences and about the things that sometimes get focused on, but that we miss out on. That book on dyslexia, Aaron Slater, Illustrator, it just really hits home so many times. And especially when you get a message from your daughter saying, hey, Mom, you got any ideas? Because Brookie is really feeling this way about this. And that's the one I told you about, the granddaughter that paints before breakfast and always is painting and always things and is sure she can read everything. And now she's in school and not happening quite the same way, but people are being very patient and it's very good. Got some great teachers. But it's that, incrementalism. When I taught kindergarten and first grade, I always, every year, at least one child would go home on the first day of school sobbing in tears because they hadn't learned to read that day. And in a 5-year-old's mind, when they're told you're going to go to school and learn to read, they think it's going to happen instantly. Instantaneous, it's magic wand, bibbity bobbity boop. Mad Madam Mim is going to walk in the door and boom, you're going to be able to read. Boy, that was always so tough. And it was always a really big deal to try to make it so that they could read something that first day, that there was something that we would do that made them successful. And those little steps, incremental steps that you take, it's like everything else we do, step by step by step, little bit by little bit. Some things will come easier to us. Some things are more difficult and take shorter steps than the big leaps, but we'll get there. And I'm just so grateful for this community and my friends and the people that I've met here and around in this that show patience for that and support each other in those things. So Sunday will be show and tell. Send in your art to my email. I'll show it on the show. Lupe, Tamara, Doc, Roy, who else? Lala, send stuff in. Be part of the bucket filling brigade. And let's see what you've got, everybody. But, that's it for now. So let's see if there's anything else that anybody had to say. And just so you know, you guys, Tamara has been an artist for a long time, and she is extraordinary. But she started somewhere. And so you guys all know that I didn't even own a sketchbook 3 years ago. If I can show my work in front of Tamara, so can you. So, or my sketches, or my doodles, or whatever. And that's what it is. Yes, it was everything else that were hard. I can't draw, but I can do cards. Oh, you know what? Lala, take some pictures of your cards and send those in. Our art is not limited to painting that people share. I mean, Linda shared this piece of art one time that she did. It was a multimedia that she used a manhole cover, and she did all these crazy, amazing things on top of it. So, yeah, send it in, and we'll see it then. So, everybody, I'm going to close it down now. And I'll see you on Sunday. But until next time, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. But the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your own mirror. And I'll see you next time.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and sounds. Ooh, feeling alright, we won't go home, we will just stay here downtown. There's not just stars on the boulevard, they're in the light in your eyes. Oh, we don't need no black cards, I just need you by my side. We could be shameless.